Welcome to the Catalyst Effect. I am Isaac Carter. We are at the Dallas Startup Week presented by the Debt Council. And I'm here with Tricia and
Carson.
Tricia and Carson, you have an exciting FinTech payment platform. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about it.
So we're
Get a little
BoglePay,
closer to the mic.
and what we offer is a solution for small businesses and startups to offer ACH payments super frictionlessly and allow them to facilitate low fee payments for their customers, and in exchange offer discounts to those customers to incentivize them to switch, not force them to switch.
That is really interesting. I hear a lot of people trying to either address credit card payments by, hey, we can reduce some of your transaction fees or some of your percentage, and they're doing pure competition on that. But it is very hard for a business to accept ACH. And so we accept ACHs at my consulting firm, but I have to pay almost the same rate because I'm just using QuickBooks to do the processing. So that is absolutely needed. And I'm not seeing a lot of people in the market doing that. I do have some folks I can introduce you to that are trying to sauce on the payment processing side, some of my clients.
Keep going, boys.
All right. He wants me to slow down, be a little bit more. All right. So you're the business guy. You're out there connecting the need to the market, and you are an engineer, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So this isn't an easy problem to solve. If it was easy, it would have already been solved, right? So you have an approach to how to solve this from a technology perspective. Could you just give me a little snapshot of that?
Right. So right now for our MVP, we're currently focusing on automating these payments digitally.
Okay.
But later we're planning on having it so customers can scan a QR code in person inside of a store. And from the QR code, they could either use our app to process a payment or use our website. They just have to sign in once into the website really quick with some two-factor authentication. So it should be a pretty painless process.
Awesome. So are you integrating to any payment cores, any banking core systems, or?
On the back end, we use Plaid to store the customer
Okay.
data and make sure the ACH process is super frictionless, super easy to do. And that allows for the ACH payment. On the credit card side, we're just traditional credit card processor. But the core idea is that you're a company, and a lot of the businesses we've talked to are like, we want a way to reduce our fees.
Of
But if we
course.
say that we're not going to take credit cards, we lose all these customers. And so we can't go away from credit cards as much as we hate it, because their credit card fees are just kind of a cost of doing business. So we
Yeah.
offer is a way for you to discount it, so that when you're going online, you're seeing that, hey, I can get 2% off if I'm doing crypto payments, if I'm doing ACH payments. I'll opt for that option rather than the credit cards. And for those customers that don't, they're going to continue to pay with their credit card.
So for me, my invoices are 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. And so a lot of my customers will send me a wire, and that wire fee is $30, $40 for them, $40 for me. There's $80 involved in a $40,000. Would it be more cost effective for me to give them an ACH payment avenue?
So for us, it's about 0.5% plus 25 cents. So it sounds like it'd be about the same for you.
Okay.
But it would be significantly cheaper than credit card. And that's ideally what we're trying to do, is these small micro businesses that are, being forced to use these huge credit card companies.
Okay.
And Stripe actually does offer an ACH. And it's interesting that no one knows that they do it. And the reason no one knows is because Stripe is so incentivized not to push it, because
Yeah.
they make so much more money on credit cards.
Of course.
So we're trying to be the payment processor. First, we're going to be the first in-person ACH payment processor, but we're trying to push you towards, as a customer, that better option for businesses.
So working with my startups where the payments are $3,000 or $4,000 at a time, and it's just relatively structured, a payment amount, that's where it would really be more beneficial for me.
Yeah, ideally, yeah.
So tell me about the status of your development. You talked about an MVP. When are you expecting to start testing that?
Right. So we have a majority of our code base already built out for our initial product and enough customer interest. So we're thinking about launching our product in a couple weeks. Right now, we're still working on getting our backend situated with our banks and our payment processor, so Stripe. But after we figure all that stuff out, we should have our product pushed in a couple weeks.
Okay, awesome. So where are you with kind of your beta or alpha user base?
Yeah, so we've talked to about 80 to 100 businesses, and that was just more of purely from a customer discovery standpoint. And then we went back to all those businesses and we said, hey, the responses we're getting are really supporting this idea. Would you be willing to, come on and try the product? And so we've slowly been kind of converting a lot of those leads, but we have about 25 businesses that are like, hey, yeah, we'll look at it, we'll try it. We think, this is something that's interesting. And, when it comes to market, let's show it to us and we'll see if we can try it. We do have one that's, one small business, a tutoring company that we've kind of isolated as our first, it's reoccurring revenue. People are, it's super easy with the reoccurring revenue because it's just going to hit your bank every month and you're going to save every month and you never have to go through the payment process again. So it maybe takes 25 seconds to do our ACH payment versus like 20 when you're typing in all your credit card numbers.
Yeah.
But that 5 seconds is saving you every month when you're doing tutoring. So like we've identified this as like, this is our core, like this is our best service model. Let's go with this one business first. And then we have about 20 or so that we're kind of looking to work with next.
Yeah. So as a payer, a lot of times I'm working with like Dell Business Credit or something like that, and I want to set up just ACH just to get it over with. And I can't set it up until after I've already made the first payment. And then I make the first payment and I can't set up an ACH if the payment's due. So I have to call between payment cycles to set up the ACH. I'm not going to do that. I don't have time. I don't think about that. So I'd love to see a solution to that where somebody could come in at the time I set up ordering 30 laptops for my developers. I just set the payment up at the time I order it and have it come through every 30 days. Just pull that out, which seems like it would be a really easy thing to do, but keep on doing that. Okay. So you're fully formed.
State of Delaware, yeah.
State of Delaware. Are you bootstrapped? Have you received some funding?
We've bootstrapped thus far. We've been so focused on customers and building out the product that we haven't even got the chance to look for funding.
So tell me about the founding team. Is it you two?
We have 2 other members in our founding team. We have one other developer and one other student who's focused more on the business side. Currently, we've just been working on this team to like really reach out with customers, connect, and start building like different versions of our MVP.
Awesome. And you've already figured out the payment gateways and you have all of that. So you are in the next couple of weeks, you are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, we're narrowing it down between a couple companies. Obviously, there can be delays with the financial side. But yeah, we're looking at like Silicon Valley Bank and a couple other options for like origination and making it super easy. Plaid is a great option for, we can do our balance checks and our authentication to make sure that every payment's super, easy to use. And there are so many different providers that work with the Plaid network.
Are you going to be underwriting for the processing or are you just going to go pure direct process?
It's mostly direct process. There's a bunch of stuff with like KYC, KYB, where that's like some of the regulation stuff that we have to do. And there are some, we have to worry about, some sorts of outlawed businesses. But for the most part, we can work with most businesses. And we're kind of targeting startups and micro businesses though. So we're not looking to be, we're not looking at your Walmarts and your Krogers. Eventually that'd be great. But like the people who are experiencing the most need, because Walmart goes and they call Discover and they say, give me a lower rate. If you're a small, micro business, you can't do that, right? If you're, a little side gig or just a startup you just started working on, like you're not able to like have that same level of like negotiating those rates and being more advantageous to you. And so ideally, those are the businesses that we've targeted, and those are the businesses that are on a survey and that like our product. And
okay, awesome. So what do you need now? You're here at Dallas Startup Week. I know you're trying to network and connect with people. What are you hoping to achieve?
Right now, we're hoping to find like more advisors for our team, specifically people with more experience like within the fintech space to ensure that like our product is something feasible. It's like the best version of our product it can be, and it's something that we could really scale in the future.
Yeah. And for me, I've been around fintech a long time. So my biggest concern is going to be risk, compliance, and security. I'd like to see the code and how you've built that, how you're doing the interaction, how you're collecting the data and how you're storing and all of that. That's something I'm interested in. And from the business side, I want to see some business modeling. So that's something as a business advisor, that's something I want to see. Okay, how many customers do you need? At what throughput level at those do you need to be profitable?
Yeah.
And obviously you're not going to be getting a lot of the compliance issues that are going to happen. You're not going to get compliance coverage with a team of 4 people. So obviously you're going to need some funding at some point. I want to see kind of what the ideas are for that. So as you're developing those relationships and meeting those people, the monetization strategy with your industry is pretty simple. You get a percentage of the processing fee, and that's straightforward. All right. So how many clients do you need of a micro business? They're not running $100,000 transactions a day. They're running smaller transactions. You need a lot more of them. So the go-to-market strategy is going to be very important on that. And Fernando is not here right now, so he can't give you any advice on that. So those are things that as you're developing and hitting the market, I love it that you're almost ready to hit the market and start testing. Make sure that you've got a viable product. Seems like you're on the right track. I'm really excited to see that. So how would people reach you?
Yeah. So general at BoglePay.com.
BoglePay?
BoglePay,
And your website
BoglePay.com.
is live, so they can go see it at
There, the
BoglePay.
live website has not been pushed yet.
Okay.
But it should be pushed within a few days.
Yeah.
It's built. It just hasn't been pushed to the domain yet.
Okay. Awesome. Well, by the time this goes live, you should be able to go and see it at BoglePay.com. Awesome. Thanks so much. Good to meet you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.